Welcome to this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamina. Joining me now is the President of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, David Haubert. I wish we had a drum roll for you. Hi.
Well, thanks for having me, Marshall. It's always a pleasure.
Well, gosh, it's really our pleasure. What topics or announcements would you like to share with our viewers today?
A couple of things, Marshall. First, weekend coming up, the Labor Day weekend, always the weekend of the Scottish Rites Games at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. It's a great time for all. If you're around and you're in Pleasanton, come to the Alameda County Fairgrounds located in Pleasanton and visit the Scottish Rites Games.
Do you know what? The Scottish Rite Games here is the second largest only to those in Scotland.
That's right.
It's an amazing fact.
Yes. And such a long running history that they have. But here in Pleasanton, I understand from them, this is the best location at the Alameda County Fairgrounds for their event.
When it's about half over during the day, ask around. You'll certainly get very positive answers.
That's right, that's right. The other thing I'd like to share, Marshall, is a little bit about Measure W.
Yes.
And we'll have a deeper dive in a future episode, but I want everyone to know we are fast at work planning and allocating and laying the groundwork for spending the Measure W funds. What is Measure W? A half-cent sales tax, Marshall, approved overwhelmingly by the voters of Alameda County, and we're very proud of them for doing this. A local tax that is put to use locally by our County Board of Supervisors to try to end homelessness, but also available for any expenditures that would come our way in the general fund. And we know with the changes at the federal level and budget issues, we feel very well protected here in Alameda County. We're going to be able to take care of those in need with our Measure W funds. Now, it was passed in 2022, but it was then litigated, 2020, litigated by the Alameda County Taxpayers Association, found to be baseless claims, which means that the money that was collected and stored up can now be used to do what we need to do with it. We've allocated a lot of that money to end homelessness as a broad bucket, but we haven't allocated it to the direct expenditure plan. So on September 30th, we will be ironing out more of a more direct expenditure plan. But what you can see is, and what I have pledged is, and challenged our team, a noticeable difference in the effect on homelessness. In other words, we will need people to see the effect on the streets of reduced homelessness, that people can say, we made a difference. And I don't think we can say that for the last decade. In fact, people would say it got worse.
Absolutely.
We're going to say in the next few years that there was a noticeable decline, that people recognize a decline in homelessness. So I'm excited about that, Marshall, and I think everyone in Alameda County should be.
And you even got Nate's vote on it.
We got everybody's vote, that's right. Yeah, it was really, I'm pleased for that. Marshall, we do need to bring that up at a future meeting, probably a few of them, as we report out on the effects of Measure W. But I want everybody to know we're now at the point where we're planning the expenditure of those funds, at long last.
Well, this has the promise of the most effective thing we've ever done.
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you for that information. Now, a while back, actually it was very recently, LAVTA, the Livermore Amador Valley Transit Association, unanimously got together and elected you as vice chair for that board. And now it's celebrating, looking at you, it's the 10th anniversary, but in fact it's the 40th anniversary this year. So I wonder if you would tell us a bit about what services they provide and who they are.
Well, Marshall, 40 years means it was created in 1985. I think today's leaders of the Livermore Amador Valley Transportation Authority stand on the shoulders of those before us who created the agency. And I know you had a lot to do with that as the first chairman back when it was called RIDEO?
RIDEO.
Okay, RIDEO. Now called Wheels as the consumer-facing brand name. People know the Wheels brand of the Livermore Amador Valley Transportation Authority. We provide local bus service, rapid service, express service, a school feeder route that connects people to the kids to their schools. Some kids, the only way they get to school is on a Wheels bus, and if that Wheels bus wasn't there, I don't know what they would do. Uber or walk or ride a bike, or their parents would have to take them. But so many parents rely on Wheels bus to get their children to school. But workers get to the BART stations. They get to the ACE train station. They get around town to the shopping mall, to the employment areas. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have Wheels bus service. So for fiscal year 2025-26, we're projecting about 1.5 million riders or individual rides. We don't have 1.5 million people, Marshall, but all the people that do it add up to 1.5 million rides. It did dip during the pandemic, and everybody in public transit dipped. And remember, the freeways were clear. It was easy to get to the city, and because nobody could drive. Well, Marshall, we're back to over 75% of pre-pandemic levels. That means that some people are still finding other ways to get around, but over 75%. That shows that people really have a need for this service, and we expect to get back to pre-pandemic levels at some point. Marshall, all bus service is one that is a safety net service for those that can't afford their own automobile. And so these are people that we rely on to do a lot of service work. There are people that work in our grocery stores and people that work in a variety of jobs that we need to have happen. If they can't afford an automobile, they have a bus service they can rely on. Wheels Bus is reliable. It's well run, and the executive director there, Christy Wagner, has a great amount of experience here in the Tri-Valley. So it's relevant to people. We're always listening to our riders to know what their needs are and to find ways to help them. In addition to those that need a bus because they don't have a car, paratransit is incredibly important to people. People that are physically challenged and just couldn't drive even if they could afford a car, Marshall, they're able to get out. People in wheelchairs and elderly and frail, able to get out on paratransit.
There is a saying, which I believe is still true, that no senior citizen would be without transportation as long as Wheels and Radio.
I love that. That's a great one, Marshall. Did you make that up?
Maybe.
Maybe I'll steal it.
Maybe just no.
I'll borrow it. Okay. Left, a great organization.
Boy, you know, community support is a big thing. And I wondered if you'd tell us about the local nonprofits and businesses and seeing a pinch of budget cuts and et cetera.
Yeah, Marshall, it is true that the county relies on a wide network of nonprofit organizations. We can't hire enough people and train them to do the work that we need to do by ourselves. We rely on not only, and I'll call it, there's some that we hire and we pay, and there's an executive director and a volunteer board oversees and a budget, and they hire people. And then there's those that are volunteer-based, faith-based, that come out of really the goodness of their heart, providing services. So on one side we have groups that are paid homeless outreach, behavioral health specialists, mental health specialists, psychiatrists, paid professionals, and we work with that group of organizations to help provide the mental needs, the behavioral needs, the clinical needs of really clients in the community. And then on the other side we have like Open Heart Kitchen, which relies on I'm guessing a large part of their work is done but with volunteers. And we have
dedicated volunteers.
Very dedicated volunteers. They have a passion to help those in need, and they do it on their own time with their philanthropic hearts. We have, I know one is Cornerstone Fellowship in Livermore, where people can park in their parking lot and be safe and secure. They can take a shower, they can do their laundry, they can get services on Friday mornings. So a wide variety of people that the paid ones we're going to have less money to go around. But for Measure W, that's going to backfill the money that the federal government might eliminate from us. And then on the volunteer side, we do everything we can to support them with a grant here or there, or just to give them the resources they need to help our community. We rely on a wide network of nonprofit organizations.
Your messages here are always so positive, and I appreciate them very, very much. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisors Report with President David Haubert in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with the very president of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, David Haubert, right before me. Oh my gosh. Can you tell us about the job fair? You're Mr. Job Fair.
Marshall, it's so important that anybody that needs a job can find a job, and one of the great ways to do that is through a job fair. We have the 5th annual job fair coming up, and we're going to place some information on the screen below that will give more information on exactly where and how to access the job fair. It's a coordination between our workforce development team, the local Tri-Valley Career Center, and the Las Positas College. So look for the dates and the location, which will be posted on the screen as we talk. But I encourage anybody that needs a job to go find a job at the job fair.
Amen. Next thing I'd like to speak about, if you don't mind, is Tri-Valley Haven. Several years ago, gosh, a long time ago, I was on a board called ACTEB, Alameda County Training and Education Board. And right around that time, the young lady who was starting Tri-Valley Haven really got going, and what a dynamo she was. And I was so pleased to see that we had been moving in that direction. I wonder if you could amplify what Tri-Valley Haven's been doing, in your mind you think is good.
They're an outstanding organization, Marshall, and really one of the safety net components of our county when women mostly are fleeing domestic violence, sometimes in the middle of the night with nothing more than the clothes on their back. They have a place to go, and that's Tri-Valley Haven. What's so special about Tri-Valley Haven is that they're the only haven, the only shelter in the county that will accept teenage boys. If you have a mom with a teenage boy and in an abusive relationship, nowhere else to go but Tri-Valley Haven. One of the things that I focused on recently, Marshall, and it's no surprise, it makes sense, but you don't really think about it as much. That means there are children that are maybe attending local schools. They had to change school. Maybe they came from another city. They have to change schools, and they're technically homeless. If you're in a shelter, you're homeless. We have students who are homeless living in a shelter, and Tri-Valley Haven provides that for them. So these are also then the most vulnerable people. That's a very emotional time for young children, not as able to cope maybe as a grown adult. So I'm going to start working with Tri-Valley Haven on ways that we can further enhance or improve the experience of the students that are housed at Tri-Valley Haven. They're with us for a short time and then may go on to maybe another school. While they're in our care, I want to make sure that the students that are there receive the services that they need.
Is there some limit to the time they can spend?
I don't know, Marshall. What I do know is that if it's the only place you can go, you're thankful to have it, but it's not a forever home, and people will want to move on the best they can. So they're grateful to be there, but they want to get to a better place. And I don't know if there's a time limit or not. I just know that that they need to move on to a better place.
Got it. You've got a new website. Please tell us about it.
Enhancements to our website, Marshall. First of all, I want to say anybody that needs any information and needs to access my office and have a great office staff should go to www.district1.alamedaca.gov. We should know we're in District 1 of Alameda County, Marshall. Don't go to District 2, 3, 4, or 5 if you live in my district, because you'll find another supervisor. But go to www.district1.alamedacountyca.gov. We'll put that on the screen. But we've heard from people that they would like to see more of lists of things, that services. So we provided a list of all the food pantries located in our district, a list of all the emergency shelters, a list of all the critical services in the Tri-Valley. So in other words, instead of having to read through paragraphs of text and language, we'll just be able to, what do you need? Here's a list of those services and links to their websites so that you can quickly and easily access the information that you need. We've heard that from our constituents, that it would be a great service to provide, and I'm happy to say my team is now been able to provide it. Go to our website, www.district1.alamedacountyca.gov.
The only thing that comes to the level of excellence is your other letter.
I appreciate that.
It's really, really appreciated.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming events you'd like to talk about?
Well, Marshall, I would say that we talked about the Scottish Games. One thing I should have mentioned also at Soup's Choice, back to school happened recently. And so everybody should know that traffic patterns seem to shift all of a sudden because everyone wants to get on the road at the same time to get their kids to school, which is different than the summer traffic. But I want to wish everybody, and I always say first day of school is Mom's favorite day of the year. Mom and Dad's favorite day of the year. So we just passed that. I wish all of our students to be having a wonderful school year. I know that our teachers in our school districts are getting kids ready for learning on day one. And that just happened. So we're keeping in mind all of the wonderful events, back to school nights. Pretty soon we'll be into the football games. And before you know it, Marshall, will be into the fall. So the school year is upon us now.
We've got good teachers and we've got good kids.
Yeah.
I'm proud of District 1, I hope as you are.
Yep, that's right, Marshall. Well said.
Thank you for being here today, and really appreciate all the updating that you've done. It goes by so fast. I'd like to triple the time next time, okay?
We'll work on it, Marshall.
I'm Dr. Marshall Kamina. Join us for the next episode of Supervisors Report with President David Haubert right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching.